It's that time of year again, so we are making our way to the UK Games Expo. Well, the car is loaded with games we're taking to the bring and buy, but we've left enough space to bring many a game back from the UK Games Expo. We're on our way now for the press preview, which will be taking place later this evening. So it's just a case of getting there on the motorway and trying to rein in the excitement. Now, one thing to be mindful of if you're making your way to the UK Games Expo this year is that there are many scheduled train strikes, which has had an effect on the roads. A journey that should be taking us just over 2.5 hours is predicted to take us an extra half an hour. So do be mindful of these delays if you are making your way to Birmingham this year.
Finally here. It took a lot longer than we anticipated, practically all day it seemed, but we're here, we're in our hotel room ready to go, and the view from our hotel room has reminded us that if we get a little bit peckish once the show is open, there's lots of nice food truck options just outside here at the Hilton. I think from history there's going to be options of Greek, Mexican, crepes, maybe poutine, all sorts of options there for people, and I believe from previous times there'll be sort of vegetarian and different options there as well. So if you do get a bit peckish and you're not heading up to Resort World, then there are some options just out here. We've made it here to the main halls. Let's head inside. So the show's not open yet, but everyone's beavering away behind us and in front of us, getting their stands all ready, everything set out. There's loads of boxes everywhere. Lots of things. Going to look a lot prettier, I think, by the time the doors open, but everyone's very busy getting it ready to look perfect when the doors open.
We stumble across all sorts of strange things at the UK Games Expo. Who would have thought we'd stumble across an extinct bird?
Yep, you come across all sorts of strange things here at the award ceremony. But now we're going to head on to the press preview and see what's there.
So we have finished looking around the press preview, and it's a bit of a manic event.
It was absolutely manic. Yeah, the award ceremony was running a little bit late. Nothing to do with the Dodo that was there, but there was a Dodo there who was the centre of attention. I think pretty much.
Loving getting the award. But
yeah. It was a race round to try to see everyone. Although I've had to write down everyone or some people that we did see, just to make sure that we cover it.
We met quite a few people, and it was very busy, so we couldn't get to as many people as possible, but certainly busier than last year. I'm not quite sure why, but that's what we dealt with.
We could have done with double the time, I think, to have seen a lot of people, but we did with it our best.
Yes, and there's obviously 3 more days of actual expo to see these people, so anyone didn't get to today at the press preview we'll hopefully see, but we have seen quite a few. So
we have a lot, of course we saw stuff by Bez. She was looking glorious in red as per usual.
I didn't get to play any games in the press preview. She's going to be doing that on the stand, doing her daily 2 o'clock shows. So if you are going and you're at loose end at 2 o'clock, always fun.
It's a lot of fun, if you need a little mid-afternoon pick you up, then definitely head over to that stand.
We've talked about it quite a lot, so have a look at last year's footage if you want to see what to expect from that show.
Yeah, definitely. And another one that we saw last year was Deckchairs on the Titanic.
Yes, so they're back
and they're here again.
they've still got some Kickstarter first editions to sell. If you haven't picked it up, it's a really good kind of abstract movement game, really, where you're manipulating deck chairs on the Titanic.
Yeah, I love how the boat like sways and then everything moves in certain directions.
And you're dealing with an iceberg. But we also saw Labyrinth. Dissent games are there, and if you don't know, we did some Kickstarter work with them. So it's nice to see the finished product. First time we've actually seen the finished version. It looks great.
Yeah, and we're going to be able to pick up our copy of the game whilst we're here at the show. So I'm sure a lot of other people would have been receiving theirs recently too.
We saw some new stuff.
We did. We went over to the Pandasaurus stand, and they have this box experiment which you're waiting for on Kickstarter. I think I overheard them saying it was delivering September-ish time.
Well, I went all in on that on Kickstarter, getting both the plastic and the wooden boxes. So everything.
All foxes.
We are fully stocked up. We're foxed up.
But they did have a very interesting looking card game, District Noir, really up your street in terms of the aesthetic. Looks quite fun in a 2-player game. So
really lovely art. It's on BGA, so we can have a few games on there. But yes, it's 2-player card games are kind of our jam at the moment. We've been enjoying a lot of those. So like I said, the theme was very much my theme, but they also had a game there that was very much your theme.
Yes, they did. Emerge. It's got boats, it's got islands, it's got animals, and you're sort of scoring different points. I think there's 8 rounds at the boat. It's like a round tracker, and you're building up these islands and putting different things on them. The artwork looks lovely. So really interested in seeing a bit more about that. She spoke about how the game works. So it'd be nice to see if we can have a play at some point. Yeah.
While you were looking at that, I was looking at Chip and Collect.
Yes.
Which I saw last year. I don't know if I mentioned it last year, but I love the way it came to be. So it was a dad and his daughters just during lockdown made a board game. And obviously that resonates a lot with me because I have daughters, and I used to live in Norfolk, which is where I used to live. It's really lovely to see there's a new edition of that they've made with new card artwork and things like that. So I might be picking up another edition of that while we're here. It's a really lovely game.
Yeah, nice theme. We obviously saw the new games from Cosmos and also from Devir. There's a few new ones there too. Savernake Forest, Bamboo and Ierusalem. So they're all there, but we'll be seeing those on the stand whilst we're there anyway. But we're very interested in Undaunted, the Battle of Britain one. So we've got to have a look at that. And I think you've got a play scheduled in for later. And so we didn't spend too much time there because we didn't want to waste their time knowing that we're already booked in later when there's other people to see.
It was a case of saying hello, and I hope to get a copy of that because it was on my list of 10 games I was most excited about. So really pleased to be actually see it and play it and reaffirm that it's a game I'm interested in because we haven't played any of the Undaunted games before.
No, it'd be really interesting to start into that. And there was also very interesting both Star Wars Rivals and Disney Animated on the Funko stand.
Yeah, so
both look right up our street. So we were super excited to sort of chat to them about those in reasonable depth. Although again, you are booked in to go and chat to them
I shall be playing. Disney Animated was on my list of exciting games for the expo, so I'm pleased it's here. Hopefully I'll be able to get a copy. And Rivals was kind of this announcement that happened just before, or I was aware of it just before, and it's a game I know we're going to enjoy playing. Star Wars, accessible for families, so and blind boxes are always fun.
And they were very kind enough to give us a little bag of goodies. So if you want to see what's in that, then keep an eye out for our haul video that will come up after the expo, obviously, and see what we've managed to have in that little box.
Incredibly generous.
They were, sea salt and paper I have seen so much about recently. A lot of people were enjoying it when I was visiting Aircon and got to chat to them about it here, and all those cute little origami little things on the cards. It looks lovely. Another card game that I would definitely like to give a play. Sounds really good.
I've seen lots of people showing off. I hadn't realised that the art on the cards was actually photos of real origami they'd made. I thought that was lovely. It's really
amazing.
Cool.
The cute little penguins.
A unique art. We don't see that on other things. So.
No. I spoke to a lady about tea. Now I'm very excited about this.
You are.
I really enjoy a cup of tea. I'm not so much a coffee person as you are. But yeah, you might see me drinking tea in future.
Board game of tea. It was unexpectedly fun. I don't drink tea.
It was quite a delicious little taste.
I did taste some, and yeah, for someone who doesn't drink tea, pretty tasty.
Yeah.
I could maybe a tea convert.
We saw some games like Walkies. Oh my gosh, the throw yourself into a theme in this one. Like, it comes with the sort of collapsible dog bowls that you can keep your bits and pieces in. That they're actual dog bowls, but I mean, you can keep anything in it.
And the winner gets a kind of dog
toy trophy. Yeah,
it felt like a Kickstarter. It wasn't. It felt like a Kickstarter full of stretch goals. But yeah, it's a fun little game.
It's a roller move for younger families, and if they're like a dog, have a pet dog.
It's got some dog trivia questions in there. And things like that.
Making sure people are looking after them properly. Then I think it would be great. Some other ones, we saw Astra from Mind Clash. Looks really interesting. It's going to have the depth and the crunch of some of their other games that they're really well known for, like Anacri, like Deckchairs, but the kind of game that you can actually teach and play really quickly, so it doesn't take a lot of rule set. It's just when you're playing, you've got some difficult decisions to make, and that sounds great. And I love the theme, and the idea that you can try to push your opponent to do the thing that you're really looking to do. So that sounded really interesting. So looking forward to seeing more about that. One that we've been super excited for is the EKE expansion. Now, if you watch the channel a lot, you know that we really enjoy the game EKE, and there's some boats and all sorts of new bits and bobs coming along in that. So it was great to see that.
So one half of the expansion refreshes the market a lot quicker, which is a bit of a sticking point for certainly for smaller player counts. Starts to issue a bigger player counts. But yeah, a new set on the kind of shopping precinct where you can play about boats.
Yeah, I love a boat. So.
But he does reassure me, it still burns down as frequently. So despite the expansion, they haven't learned that mixing gunpowder and smoking with lots of paper houses is a bad plan.
They'll never learn.
Never learn. But we really enjoy EKE.
We do.
So yeah, we're getting that.
Hachette also have quite a few other games that we're interested in after us. The artwork looked great, didn't it?
Really did.
Really fab.
And if we're ever going to grab it, now's the time, because it's got the expo. You can get an exclusive cover.
Yeah, UK only print cover. I think the art was by Vincent Duche. Yeah, amazing. So that looks really exciting. Good to sort of see a bit more about that. Be coming soon. We looked at Tribes of the Wind, which looks like a good game. Interesting about how you have to look at your opponents and what cards types that they have, as to whether you can play a card or take a card, take the actions from it. Yeah, depends on your surroundings. So that's a really interesting
what I really liked
mechanism.
about that is often when you play games where you have to look at your opponents on either side of you, it doesn't work 2 players, and you have to have a kind of ultimate player. It's just a really simple solution, just the colour of the card market. Yeah,
and that's like counts as your other opponent.
That's your opponent.
It's brilliant.
So such a simple solution.
Yeah, no needing to do extra things or automate things. It's just the market cards. You can judge by those. Yeah, great. Outlive looks amazing. They had a collector's edition there. There's only a few here at the show apparently. Have my eye on one of those maybe for you. That looks great. Heard so many good things about that game.
I hadn't heard about it until you mentioned it, and I've been watching bits and I thought, this is definitely a game for me. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
So that might be a naughty little treat. We'll see. Oops. And we went over to CGE. Of course, we saw a bit more about the new expansion for Arnak, which I think is going to be releasing at Gen Con. It brings in a couple of new expedition leaders, and then you're got the sort of story thread.
So it's the kind of print and play narrative version they did, adventure. Now it's a cooperative adventure. We didn't learn anything new about it because we'd already knew so much about it. But it was nice to see the components, and as we said to CGE, they have a kind of a good benchmark for quality, and they said they don't release a lot of games, but they do focus on making them as luxurious and good as they can do. So they're focusing on that and Kut and Horror. Both of it. Sure.
Well, Kut and Horror we did talk about extensively with them in terms of how that works and what sort of mechanisms are in there, and we've got some ideas from the board there. And yeah, learning more about that City of Silver is good. Like, it looks like quite an interesting game. You're getting points from where things are adjacent to, depending on what you want. What I found was really interesting with that, you know, obviously you're going mining and you're using this for that. Two things were interesting actually about that. One, the way that the pricing for the markets changes globally, and how the number of people can change, and also the pricing on it changes. The mechanism that you've used for that is really interesting. I like that a lot. And also the different factions are sort of representing the kind of old houses as well as they would have been in the sort of olden city times when the world of silver was at its height. And so as each faction, you can only take sort of certain areas or certain actions that your family would have been able to do. So you have to almost sort of encourage other things to happen with other people in order to then you take advantage of that action. So that's interesting. I'm really intrigued to see how that works as a whole.
Yeah.
But yeah, looked good. So excited for that one. And last but not least, we went and saw Pandora Celeste again. It's got a new insert for the box with the whole aircon system, sort of more of a prototype as how closer to what it might be like when the full production is doing. Not quite there, but a little bit closer to that. So
that's been designed by our friend Mike. So we've been privy to it for years now. I mean, it's great to see it evolving now. It's got some proper card artwork. It's looking really good. So I hope it has a really good show and lots of interest in it.
The board is the box, so it like magnets like open into the board, which is pretty amazing. And it's really kind of user friendly. He wants it to be an easy and quick setup, a game that you can get to the table and get out with friends without any stress or faff. And I think we really appreciate that, because there's so many games that you just think, oh gosh,
you're not going to
can we play that tonight? I just can't.
Once we've set it up, it's going to be an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's good to get.
Yeah.
So
it looks fun. So it's been a nice evening.
It's been pretty good. We've had some disappointments. I'm not going to say it's been perfect today. It seems a lot of people are obviously bringing things to bring and buy, and for whatever reason, there's been a few delays, which has had some knock-on effects. Which meant that people were joining the bring and buy queue at 7:30, and then not actually being able to allow to get in because they closed the bring and buy. We couldn't even join the queue to bring our games into the bring and buy.
So we had to bring them all the way over, got told we couldn't get them to the queue, and then had to take them all the way back again. So if you are coming on Friday morning, do expect that to be ridiculously busy. You know,
it's frustrating. I don't know what caused the problem, whether people hadn't checked their games in online first, no idea. But it was just a queue that wasn't moving. And we weren't able to check things in, which is going to be a headache for us tomorrow. But hopefully it's something we can deal with. It's not marred the day. It's just a little kind of crease.
And just something for people to be aware of in the morning if you are coming in, that it is probably going to be a little bit busier than the normal Friday morning arrivals, which is probably one of the busiest ones anyway, because a lot of people that would have put them in tonight haven't been able to. So I think they are opening slightly early for people to queue, but not to actually go in. So maybe that will help matters to sort of get things moving as soon as possible. So that would be good. But now it's time for us to get gaming and enjoy our Thursday evening here at the expo before everything starts proper tomorrow morning.
So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you've just discovered our channel for the first time, do consider subscribing, particularly if you're enjoying the UK Games Expo content, because we are going to try and get a video up every single night while we're here. Fingers crossed. So yeah, to kind of bring the show experience to the people who can't come.
We'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, like, even comment, let us know if there's anything you'd like a little shot of in the next day, and we'll try our best to see what we can do.
If you see us, do say hello, and if we're free in the evening, happy to play a game with you.
Absolutely.
But as always, thanks so much for watching.
Bye.